everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Revlon Nearly Naked Foundation and Powder. So this is a new thing that I found at Ulta. If it's not out yet in your local drugstores, it's probably on its way soon. But this is a foundation with SPF 20, and then you've got this powder as well. And so I used both of these in my look today. I also used a concealer as part of my face makeup. So in this video I'll show you the application, give you my reaction to how well I think this works, and then because a lot of people request this when I'm reviewing foundations to show how it looks, come back and show how it looks after several hours or a day's worth of wear. So I'll be doing that at the end too. Overall, what I think you've got here with this foundation is a really liquidy foundation. It's a little more liquidy than Revlon Colors Stay, a little less coverage than that foundation. I'm using that as kind of a benchmark here because I know a lot of people are familiar with Revlon Colors Stay. But this has sort of a finish that I can't describe as totally matte. There is no sparkle or shimmer that I can detect in this foundation, but overall it leaves you with a finish that's a little more luminous, I guess I would say. It reminds me actually a little bit of like the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, if you're familiar with that. That was another foundation that had a real liquidy texture. It was easy to blend in. It did not have any shimmer or sparkle to it, but it just managed to give you a more natural finish on the face. Then you bring in the powder, and this powder, as you'll see in my application, has kind of a unique texture to it. It feels more like different high-end powders that I've tried as opposed to a drugstore one because it's not chalky and powdery. It's weird to not describe a powder as being powdery, but it hangs together. It's got more of a rich texture. When you swatch it with your finger, it's just got a real smoothness to it that a lot of powders from the drugstore don't seem to have. I've done about 5 or 6 applications of this since I purchased it. It's been about all I've used since I bought it, just because I really wanted to see how it would perform with different primers, different moisturizers, and as a whole, this is not as hardcore where the staying power is concerned as my Revlon Colors Stay, or as much as the whipped cream foundation, which I really, really love. I think that's just, it's a great finish, very blendable, very easy to use, but at the same time, this is a little lighter on the skin. I think this is definitely a medium coverage product. It's going to even your skin tone out, but as you're going to see in my application, certain things that you use concealer for all the time, you're probably still going to need to bust out that concealer. We'll check out the application and then we'll talk staying power at the end. So I've put on a moisturizer and I applied my Tarte Clean Slate Flawless Primer. And so now we're going to go to the foundation, which I have in shade 150 Nude. As you can see, there's no pump here, so you just kind of got to shake it out. And I'm just going to roughly apply this all over my face. It's a very liquidy foundation. I mean, I found Colors Stay to be somewhat liquidy as well, but this seems even more so. I love the different Sigma synthetic brushes like this to blend out foundation. Today I'm using the angled Top Kabuki F84. This is the one I've liked using a lot for foundation. It's not with the sharp cut edge, it's got more of a tapered cut, which I think makes it very easy to work in circular motions with this as well as just, you know, applying like this. As far as the finish on this goes, I mean, I feel like it's matte, but it's not as like flat looking as some foundations look. It doesn't have like a dry appearance on the skin, but it definitely doesn't contain any shimmer like Revlon Photo Ready does either. Well, it evened out my skin tone overall. I've got, you know, a little blemish here or there that I just want to cover up, so I'm using my Revlon Photo Ready Stick Concealer to take care of those areas. And I'm using my P80 brush from Sigma to blend this out. This is just like a little flat top, really soft, dense, synthetic brush. Really pleased with the look after concealer. You know, you just add that additional coverage to the areas where you need it. This foundation has had a couple minutes to sort of set on the face. I can still see, you can see where the light catches it. It's like your face is still a little bit glowing, but I like the fact that there isn't any added, you know, shimmer or glitter to make that happen. It's just the nature of the foundation. So the powder looks like this, comes with a little sponge puff type thing. It's got a texture that almost feels creamy. I love the way this powder feels because some powders feel dry, you know, you touch your finger to it and powder flies everywhere. This really hangs together when you swatch it on your finger. It just has a nice texture to it. So I'm just going to take a small to medium sized brush here and just dust this over. I'm going to go over half the face first so we can see how this changes the finish of everything. It mattified me a little bit more, it looks like. Pores are definitely a little less obvious after the powder. It has a texture that makes it not appear to be like sitting on top of your skin like some powders do. So yeah, this definitely gave the skin a little more perfected look. I mean, I can still see through to some freckles that I have. As a whole, you know, my skin looks really natural, but it does look, you know, a little bit more perfected. So I'm gonna finish off and do the other side here. Both of these products easy to apply. I felt like the foundation just blended in very easily. It's really liquidy. It would be nice if this had a pump for that reason, but I mean, you can still get it on your face and you have plenty of time to get it blended in without it starting to kind of set on your face. So that was good for the foundation. And as far as the powder, I'm really, really impressed. I feel like this has a more, I don't know, advanced texture. It doesn't look like makeup, and I know that's probably what you're looking for if you have bought something called Nearly Naked. Sorry for the lighting change, but that's Mother Nature for you. This is 8 hours later, and so we're looking at how the foundation held up. I did no touch-ups. I really tried not to touch my face at all as well, because that can really help out the staying power of a foundation when you're not like leaning on your hand or touching your face. So just a good rule of thumb in general, but I can see a little bit of shine going on the nose. That's pretty normal for me. But I don't feel like the product has broken down. I mean, it doesn't look out and out greasy. It just looks a little more dewy, I guess, than the face looked when this was freshly applied. My skin is not particularly oily this time of year. I'd say my skin's pretty normal right now. So if you were really oily, I wonder if maybe you would have some more issues, or you might really require a touch-up somewhere in the midst of that 8-hour day. For no touch-ups, I'm actually kind of impressed. I don't feel like this oxidized a whole lot or really changed color or got deeper as the day went on. Some foundations do that to me, and I don't think this one really did. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this product. I mean, as many times as I've applied it, I don't feel like I've had any negative reaction on my face in terms of breakouts. I felt like the coverage was pretty much what I expected. It, you know, was able to even out the skin tone, but concealer needed to come in and take care of the rest. Especially impressed with this powder. I mean, if you are currently enjoying whatever foundation you're using and you just want a great powder, I would recommend this one. I love the texture of it. One thing I would note is that I got light, and I feel like it's still kind of deep for, I mean, relatively deep compared to most light shades. I feel like this is almost more of a medium color. I know I said finish-wise, this is pretty close to the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I like that foundation. I feel like this, the staying power for this one might have been just a little bit better for me. As I think back over the past few days, and, you know, I've gone out and done stuff in the evening, and I feel like, you know, this required pretty much minimal touch-ups, just a little bit over the T-zone, and I still feel like the look is pretty fresh and pretty good. Thank you for watching this review. I hope it was informative for you on the Nearly Naked products out from Revlon. If you've tried them, let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. Bye, guys.